yeah. Welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel and Travel Corner, where our mission in life is to keep great radio from the past alive. Today, it's New York and 66 WNBC and Joey Reynolds. Joey has pretty much done everything there is to do in broadcasting after over 6 decades on the air. He's been a radio personality, a talk show host, a TV talk host, program director, you name it, Joey's done it. And his resume, it reads like a legend of radio stations across the country. He's worked at WKBW Buffalo, WDRC and WPOP Hartford, WDOK, WGAR, WIXY in Cleveland, KQV Pittsburgh, KMGG, KMPC, KRTH in Los Angeles, WIBG and WFIL Philadelphia, WNBC New York, WABC New York, WOR New York, KOA in Denver, WSHE, WIOD and WQAM Miami, WFLY Albany, WHYT, WXYZ, and Detroit, and I'm out of breath. And there's a bunch more. Now, this Aircheck features something very special. It's Joey Reynolds' on-air audition at 66 WNBC in 1974. And in this audition Aircheck, you'll hear Joey being his freewheeling self and some of his classic bits as well. There's also several minutes of a WNBC newscast at the very end of the Aircheck. Joey wound up going to work for WNBC a little over a decade later when he replaced Howard Stern on WNBC in 1986 and 1987. Gotta thank my friend Mike McCann for providing this Aircheck. If you like what you hear, give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel, and after you do, smack that bell, and you'll be notified whenever we post anything new. So let's do it. Going back to winter 1974 with Joey Reynolds' audition on air at 66 WNBC, New York.
Hello there, folks. Am I ready? I haven't been ready for years. I'm ready to go to sleep now. What do I got to do? Oh, I did the Canard Lines thing already. You want me to do that again? You mean I missed one of them? I did that boat commercial 4 times this morning. Oh, now everybody that's going on that cruise already heard about it. They're not going to go if they didn't hear it already. I got to do one more time? Okay. In a little while. It's 20 after 11. We're very casual here at WNBC. This is the return of the Superstar Radio. It's going to last about a week, friends. And I got behind me one of the greats, one of the all-time greats. You got that echo? Start that echo. I'm gonna show them what it really sounds like to be big time. WNBC can do this. This is the easiest kind of radio in the whole world to do, you know. Got the echo? Turn it up a little bit. That's it. Let's have a little less echo. All right. Now all you got to do is you got to start putting a little bit of a chomp in your voice, and you got to sound a little bit rough, you know, and then you start giving the time and the temperature and the weather real fast, and it goes something like this. 20 minutes after 11 o'clock now on WNBC. On your favorite, you got to play the jingle, stupid. Press the button. That's the next thing. That's how you do it. He never has these kind of problems, does he? No, he doesn't.
For those of you who attended Barney's end-of-year sale last year, this commercial should serve as a welcome reminder. We're having another one, and it's going on now. And for those of you who didn't attend last year's sale because you didn't know about it, well, what you're finding out about is the most spectacular men's clothing sale anywhere. You see, that's because Barney's not only offers you store-wide savings of up to 50%, but we offer you these savings on a selection of clothes that is simply staggering. For instance, in our Madison room, you'll find Hart, Schaffner, and Mark suits, nationally advertised as $150 to $170. Barney's price, $99.90. Stanley Blacker sport coats, value $75 to $80, now only $39.90. Burley overcoats, value $130 to $140, Barney's price, $89.90. You see, when you have a great store to begin with, you can have a great sale to end with.
All right,
Barney's end-of-year sale.
All right, Barney's.
Barney's, 7th Avenue and 17th Street. Open evenings till 9:30. Free parking.
Okay, Barney's. It's 28 degrees, Barney. 58% is our relative humidity, and the barometer is falling. So is this show. All right, now let's try this again. The weather in Central Park is sunny. Every place else is cloudy. Why is that? All right, come on. Now let's get the echo started. And here's how you become one of those radio stations, you know, where you play nothing but music all of the time, and you install everybody's intelligence by growling at them, you know. It's 22 after 11 o'clock now. Hi there, cousin. It's 28 degrees here at NBC Radio, #1 in New York. Oh, we're #1. NBC. One. That's a new one by L. Wilson. The California Flare. So they're sending up at CBS a Flare. It's 25 after 11. Some guy just called me now and he says, hey, what do you work for, man? Are you going to be on again? Everybody's been calling me. Thank you very much. It's awful nice to hear from you people out there. They have not asked me to come back at NBC. This is a one-day special. I'm doing it today. Actually, it's an on-the-air audition, folks. You know, I came by here to pick up a lid. And, you know, well, somebody just called. He said, who do you work for? I said, CBS, you dummy. He said, what's the difference between CBS and NBC? I said, about 20 grand a year. And then I said, what's the difference between an eye and a peacock? And if you don't know that, you don't belong to this station. 66 on the dial, and Joey is here. We got a commercial to do, and then we're going to be... I got to do that Canard commercial again. You know, I got to tell you about that cruise. Just to remind you, folks, that you can go on a cruise for as little as $320 a person based on double occupancy. That means if two of you go. Or as much as $2,025. Now, this is a great cruise because it's 5 to 14 days, depending on the variety you choose. You know, you can choose from any one of the cruises you want to go on the QE2. That's Queen Elizabeth #2. The first one they dumped in Long Beach. Go to 44th Street Pier in Manhattan. You step aboard the QE2. You can visit it any time while it's moored here or docked here. It's a resort that moves, and it's got more things to see than you do in most of the islands. 4 swimming pools, a casino, several nightclubs, a theater, and there's a special common cruise on January 19. Not to mention Count Basie on February the 16th cruise. Take the easy way to the sun and step aboard the QE2. 39 rooms at minimum prices. I gave you that.
Wolfman tells you to go cruise, baby, go cruise. Stay off 42nd Street and leave your trench coat home.
She is a British registry. Call your travel agent or Canard at 983-2510. That's 983-2510.
Hello, the Wolfman just loved WNBC Radio 6600. That's the Wolfman down in your bad self.
I rehearsed this last night, and I finally got his voice down pat. See, there's one difference between Joey Reynolds and Dan Ingram. I can imitate Dan Ingram. For the second time this hour, and that's Honk Tonk Women, one of their oldies on WNBC New York. Joey Reynolds, 11:30, and they asked me, where are you from, Joey? I told them I'm from Hunger. That's just outside of Largemouth, New Jersey, next to Elephant Breath. Oh, here is the song that I have been threatening to finish all morning long, and we finally have time to do it. It's Love Unlimited and Love's Theme. This became a hit thanks to the Tavern Owners of America. Ladies and gentlemen, direct from Hawaii, this is Joey Reynolds, where I never got a tan. Because I couldn't find a bar with a sunroof. You're not going to believe this, but that record is produced by Barry White, the guy who's had a couple of hits on the chart this year for the first time. And that's Love Unlimited, his instrumental group, and it was originally done as tracks, you know, the background for his song, which he never... Well, he decided the tracks are so beautiful, why waste it by putting his ugly voice on it? Frankly, that's what happened, and it's become a big hit for him. Makes the same amount of money. What's the difference? It's 27 before 11, or before 12, and we're almost done here. The engineers have taken a union break, so now it's time for my lunch, you know. Are they got a break? I got one, too. It's Joey Reynolds rap, and I'll tell you, it's really a pleasure eating in New York. You know, you have some of the best restaurants in the whole world here in New York City. $1.50 for a jar of peanuts last night down at the drugstore. That's Rip-Off City, folks. And now I'm having an orange. It cost me 42 cents for an orange, which I get off the tree in my backyard in California. Go back, right? That's what you're saying. I know you're saying that. Well, you people, when we talk about oil, we don't say go back to New Jersey. Don't you dare comment on that. That's a loaded line. All right. This is Joey Reynolds. Yours till Mark Spitz. This is New York's punishment, Joey Reynolds. We're here to celebrate the energy crisis. 24 before 12. Have you ever heard of anybody celebrating a tragedy? Will you fade that record? What are you trying to do? Drive me nuts today? This Jim Dandy to the Rescue was originally done by Laverne Baker in 1957 on Mercury Records. It was label number MC129278. Now it has been redone by Royal Oak, Arkansas is the name of the group. Right here on WNBC, this is Music Power Radio. Yes, sirree. We have for you the Reds to bring you down. We got the Whites to take you up. But only WNBC has the blues that take you across. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, Ma Belle, but you are swell. You are swell, my Ma Belle. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, Ma Belle, you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, but you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, Ma Belle, you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, but you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, Ma Belle, you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, but you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, Ma Belle, you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, but you're swell.
I'm sorry. We're unable to complete your call as dialed. Please check the number and now again or ask your operator for assistance.
Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, Ma Belle, you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, but you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, Ma Belle, you're swell. Ma Belle, you're swell. Gee, but you're swell. Da 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 da.
Operator?
Long distance information.
For what city, sir?
Give me Memphis, Tennessee.
Sounds like the song. Hold on. Did you know you can dial directory direct, sir?
Long distance information?
Uh-huh.
Give me Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, hold on, I'll connect you.
Could you help me find a party that tried to get in touch with me?
What is the number you want to call?
Well, she couldn't leave her number, but I know who placed the call. My uncle took the message and he placed it on the wall.
Is this a residence or is it a business?
Help me information, get in touch with my Marie.
Marie who?
This is the telephone company in Memphis, and I'll have to have more information than just the name Marie in order to give you a telephone number.
She's the only one who'd phoned me here from Memphis, Tennessee.
I have to know the last name. I'm the first name. Marie is the last name.
I'm asking, do you have her address?
Her home is on the south side, high on a ridge, just a half mile from the Mississippi Bridge.
Sir, we check by the name only. We have no way to check by the house on the ridge.
Mr. Reynolds,
Yes.
are you on the line? I was asking you.
Yes.
What would I do in a case like this?
It ain't polite for me to talk over my record, so I'll talk over someone else's. Ladies and gentlemen, they're conducting another tour to see the freak behind the glass cage on NBC. People, go away. You don't realize that I'm here to look at you, do you? Goodbye. Sounds like that's the way it was done 5 years ago, and it's been updated now. They added horns to it. It's Naz, featuring Todd Rundgren. He was in that group, and now he's on his own. So is Murray the K. In just a couple of minutes, he'll be on his own. He looks like I feel. From Hollyweird, it'll be Marie the K, and today's topic is teasing. No, I'm just joking. I shouldn't pick on Murray today. Today's the wrong day to pick on him. I remember Murray when he was the fourth Supreme. I'm going to do a little song this afternoon called, well, it's a song I would like to dedicate to the people who were involved in the American government when we had one. It's called Let Saigons Be Saigons, or The War Is Annoying Me. Here's an amazing offer from Close Up. It's a whole history of rock and roll in one book, The Rock Revolution. Look for details on the shelf where you find Close Up toothpaste.
You can buy yourself a big sports car, but that sports car won't get you very far. You can buy yourself a pretty dress, but who says yes to just a pretty dress? So put your money where your mouth is spread. Let your soul shine through. When When you brush with close-up, your friend will get close up to you.
Vacation's nearly over, and I still haven't met a guy over 12, so I bought this bikini. Only $30.
Wow! But why not try Close-Up?
Toothpaste?
I'll buy Linda. Put your money where your mouth is. Close-Up makes your teeth their whitest, and it is real mouthwash for your breath. White teeth and fresh breath turns older guys on. Okay.
So put your money where your mouth is, friend.
Angela, meet Ralph.
Hi.
He's 23.
When you brush with close-up, your friend will get close up to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wolfman.
Are you naked, hey, Jack? Welcome to Ever and Ever!
If he's lying, he's dying,
If
baby.
I'm lying, I'm dying.
Monday through Saturday night, 7 o'clock until midnight.
I almost got arrested getting over here. Standing me.
On WNBC, Radio 66.
I want to see your face in the place. This is your Jolly Jockey. We're sitting on Spins and Needles from Radio 66. WNBC.
People call me the space cowboy.
Well, there's no gas shortage here, is there?
The gangster of love I ever did see.
I'm a bellyacre, I'm a taker, and then I'm a maker. It's 7 before 12 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. We're just about 7 minutes away from Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Witness News on WNBC, and it's time now for the mailbag. Oh, here I am. Oh, here she is, the mailbag. Well, I'm kind of an overnight bag, but anyway, here we go. Oh, friends, it's been a long time since anybody's done voices on radio. It's been a long time since they've done them well. Well, this is no exception. Darn right. A safety reminder from the New York State... Don't play with that, sweetie. Come on now. As a safety reminder from the New York State Police, bicycles ridden at night must be equipped with a white front light, front and rear reflectors, or a little old lady hanging off the side with an ever-ready battery. I remember the time that you had those guys in your room when you called the cops, remember? Oh, you mean when I had a cop out? Or a picnic, as they call it. Yes, I remember that. I called the police, and what's the emergency number, 911? Yeah. And I said, there's 2 men in my room. Throw one out. Yeah, I remember that. Here's another record. La, 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 la. That's Garfunkel without Simon. La, la, la. That's like Joey Reynolds without Murray the K. He'll be up next, ladies and gentlemen. Murray's up at bat. He's been up all night at bat. I'll tell you something. I have always in my career wanted to end my show talking. You know, program directors always say, play the music, and then you hit the news, and then come back with more music. Well, I'm going to end the show talking. I got 2 minutes, and I'm going to do my own news. I'm going to pretend I'm doing the Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Witness News on NBC. We have the good news and the ag news. The Philadelphia Bummer Parade will be held tomorrow. The annual event, a chance for bowlers over 30 to parade and drag, was canceled on New Year's Day because the Our Lady of Furco String School Ensemble was busy welcoming Mayor Abel Abim to Gracie Mansion for a premature swearing-in. Combination Keep America Beautiful, send Lindsay to the Virgin Islands. There goes that party. From our Washington correspondents, we hear that Marv Albert last night doing the Ranger game. He's really great. He has 2 brothers also in sports. We understand he has another brother, Prince. Doesn't say much about him. He's in the can. Who wrote that? God, fire him. He must go to work for Carson. Hiya, Princess Anne. The list of the world's 10 worst-dressed women is now led by her, and heading the list in the number 2 position is David Bowie. The man behind the women who are behind is Blackwell, who is very much behind, recently appointed by Richard Nixon to head the Fool and Drag Administration. Now from the Marv Albert, or is it Herb, Sports Closet. The New York Hookers 12, the St. James Infirmaries nothing. The Detroit Lions lead the Christians 62-0 the end of the first quarter. The Tel Aviv Oilers over the Nixon Gassers 0-22 at the end of the first quarter tank. That's from your sportscaster Chuck Stake. The energy crisis has hit NBC. Murray the K is out of Geritol. Please call in and pledge your support. Give all you can. Brighten your afternoon with all the good news. Murray will be next, and we'll see you again somewhere along the airwaves. Thank you very much for being with us, and thank you especially for all the nice calls this morning. Murray will be on after the NBC News on the air on the hour, 12 noon. It's really been a ball sitting in for Don Imus, and I promise you he will be back on Monday morning when he's not going anywhere. I know you love him, friends, and you miss him, and Norma will still be quarreling every morning with Don Imus. Wolfman will be on every night.
Oh, you take it down to your bad self, folks.
And I will see you maybe again sometime. Anyway, thank you for your calls. It's been a real ball. Let a smile be your umbrella. Don't get a mouthful of rain. And remember, this is it. This is where it's at. WNBC, New York. It's noon.
NBC Radio News. I'm Mark Henry. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Dayan are still meeting with key aides at this hour. The two leaders met privately for almost an hour before calling in their assistance. They are conferring on the Israeli proposal that Tel Aviv move its troops nearly 20 miles back from the Suez Canal. Israel is willing to make the withdrawal if Egypt thins out its troops on the eastern side of the canal. NBC News reporter Charles Weiss says the delicate ceasefire along the Suez has not affected the supplying of Egyptian troops caught behind Israeli lines.
If Egypt wants to keep supplies moving to its Third Army encircled on the east bank of the Suez Canal, it has to keep the front fairly quiet. This isn't said explicitly, but it's the way things work out. The Israelis have to escort the convoys of trucks down to the canal. And one Israeli officer put it this way: we're not going to get killed seeing that the Third Army eats. On Thursday, no trucks went through because shells were falling near Suez. More shooting incidents occurred yesterday and today, but none on the Suez-Cairo road.
More news after this.
Here's an important announcement for employers. If you need trained people to keep your business growing, hire veterans. When you hire the vet, you hire experience, practical working experience in dozens of fields, hundreds of specialties, in trade skills, technical skills, professional skills, supervisory skills, skills in operating specialized equipment, repairing, testing, design, engineering, construction, assembling, programming, bookkeeping, radio work, office work, you name it. Many veterans have months of special training in addition to their education, and they've learned other valuable things: self-reliance, self-discipline, teamwork. They're determined to make good, to succeed. Find out more. Contact your local State Employment Service or Veterans Administration office. Next time you hire experience. Hire the veteran.
A strong earthquake rattled central Peru early today. Edna Lee, the American vice consul in Lima, described her reaction to the tremor.
I was asleep, and I heard a noise. It sounded as if I were flying, as if I were in a plane, because the apartment started moving, and a few things moved. Shall we say, light things fell off the table. Most people I talked to were frightened, and they thought that if it would have lasted any longer than 55 seconds, that it would have damaged the whole city.
Reports from Lima indicate at least 4 Peruvians were killed in the earthquake. A London newspaper reports British troops are guarding Heathrow Airport after receiving threats that Arab terrorists plan to shoot down a jetliner. Troops are using light